Yeah, look, not pretty at times, but as I said to the guys in the locker room, extremely proud of their effort, their defensive effort. They're a hard team to defend, and that group's been together for a long time. They got a lot of older guys that have played together and know their system very, very well. Definitely a lot better than what we do with our guys coming in. So proud of the way we defended, and I thought our scout team did an unbelievable job this week preparing us for the game. We talk about stringing stops together, and I challenged them to do that in the second half. I felt it was going to take us, we call them gaps. You got to get 3 stops in a row, 6 times to put yourself in a good position to win. We did that. We achieved that tonight. I thought we had a lot of contributions from guys. I don't think Nick and Isaiah, if I'm being critical, were very disciplined to start with and put us in a little bit of hole with their foul trouble, but they still found a way to be very, very productive for us, which was fantastic. I thought the crowd was big time. I thought the students were awesome. And that's continued to build since we've been here. And the atmosphere in there was awesome. Really loud. It's actually really hard to coach in there, to be honest, because it's very, very loud in there, which is definitely a positive. So really proud of the guys, and we'll get back on the track tomorrow and get ready for Friday.
First, congrats on the win, you guys. Nick, first win of the season and your first career start, perfect from the field. Will you just talk about what it was like out there tonight?
Yeah, honestly, like Coach Fern said, the first game, so it was going to be some jitters, a lot of ups and downs, but ultimately this team came together at the beginning of the year, went through some adversity, and just stayed together. So we have a motto, being our brother's keeper, so just knowing that everyone has each other's back on the court, it's pretty easy to be comfortable with whoever you're out on the court with.
Nick, in a game you go perfect from the field. It's kind of hard to nitpick anything. But Coach mentions some foul trouble that you guys got in a little bit early. Is there anything you can do from your vantage point that you can clean up on that?
Yeah, just stay in discipline. Not playing defense with my hands, just chesting up, and just being strong, using my core instead of putting my hands on the people on offense.
Coach, you're not jumping up and down looking for attention, but not a lot of people on the street have an opportunity to lead a college basketball program, game 1 like this. How meaningful was it for you today to be out there and have a positive outcome?
As I said upstairs before the game, I'm very grateful for the opportunity. It was inspirational how the guys were very supportive of us as a staff when we went through what we went through. That'll be something that I'll never forget. When you go through something like that, and so then to put in the work and get to game 1. Opening night's always special. A number of international coaches around the world messaged me today. Just international coaches don't get this opportunity, and so they put a little bit of pressure on my shoulders to make sure I don't screw it up. And look, I'll definitely do my best to help these guys grow and develop to be the best that they can be. That's what I do it for. I've said this to them before. I've coached 37, 38-year-old men, that have wives and kids, and that's their career, and it's the same thing for me. I want to see them reach their potential and be successful and go on and play for your country or play at the next level, and for these guys it's the same thing. I want to see them grow. I want them to understand the responsibility to perform, the expectation to perform, take care of their duties off the court, getting to class, doing all that type of thing, taking care of their grades and having a plan after basketball, and to get out there tonight. And I said to them, you guys are going to be nervous, anxious. Well, so am I. It's not going to change. I've coached a lot of games that the feeling doesn't change. And it was awesome to get back out there and coach again.
Nick, I got to ask, your mom was a hooper for the women's team. What is it like, I guess, second generation Niner playing and obviously scoring your career high tonight? Is she here? I guess the second question.
No, she wasn't here, but she was watching. She texted
Okay,
me.
okay, good. But what was it like tonight? I mean, just out there.
Yeah, like you said, it's special. Being sort of like a legacy that my mom left behind. It's obviously special. But at the end of the day, I feel like it's my mark to leave at the same time. So just having that legacy, but also leaving my own mark.
Absolutely. And then, Coach, I want to ask you about Deshaun Jackson making his first start with the team. You saw him move his feet well, get a couple dunks. We talk about his game tonight.
I mean, he's very talented. He's obviously been through a major incident a couple of years ago, and just really proud of him to get back on the floor. A lot of his close circle will be extremely proud of him tonight to get back out on the floor and play the game again. He's knocked on the door at being part of Team USA, and he's been a Power 5 player, and he's only got to get better. He hasn't played a game of basketball in over 2 years, so he showed a glimpse of some things he can do. He's experienced, but 2 years away from the game is 2 years away from the game, and he'll keep getting in better shape. I mean, he's lost a lot of weight. He's improved his fitness tremendously. So has Yarrow. I think those two can be a really good package at that 5 spot. But yeah, he did some things tonight, made some plays at the right time, and I'm looking forward to just seeing his growth over the year.
Coach, Kellen Tynes was a guy I marked as someone to watch out for the offense. He averaged nearly 3.5 steals last year. How did you guys minimize him? Because he only had one tonight.
Yeah, it's a good point. He led the country in steals last year. I think he had 98 on the year. I mean, that's a high number. And we made it very clear to these guards not to mess around with the ball around him. Be really, really sharp with it. We talked about just giving the ball up, so he's not guarding the ball as much. We did a good job of that. Because he's been a very good player for them. So, we game planned for it, and guys did a good job taking care of it.
Yes, sir. And one more question. You guys were nearly scoreless in the last 3 minutes of the first half and then came out on fire offensively in the second half. How did you guys make that adjustment, and what adjustment was made?
Yeah, that's a good question too. I wasn't very happy about the end of that half. I thought we'd worked so hard for 17 minutes, and then just to relax mentally, that'll be a lesson learned there, because it can disappear pretty quick. And they got their tails up, and they would have walked into halftime thinking that they were in a position to be really competitive second half. So we'll need to learn from that, and we'll go back and watch that, because we'll get really hurt at some point doing that. But just moving the ball, I mean, like I said earlier, they defend well, and they were very disruptive for us moving the ball, and we just wobbled a little bit there at times, and it hurt us.
Coach, you talked about a lot of the, faster tempo that you want to see from your team this year. 8 fast break points tonight. We just, talk about what you saw on that front.
I thought we were okay. I wouldn't say we were as aggressive in the previous scrimmage games we've played. Probably heard a little bit too that these two were sitting on the bench for a lot of it in foul trouble, so that takes a bit of our pace away. And the other thing too is on Friday was the first time that we'd practiced as a full team for the whole year, so just trying to work through some of those pieces. I mean, I do want to get out in transition and work off drags and step-ups and just pace and play that way, because we do ask a lot of them defensively, and that's always the carrot for me, is you work really hard defensively to get out and have some fun in transition. So we were okay. We'll get better at it. But we need fresh bodies to be able to keep that tempo up, and can't have guys sitting there on the pine.
And then 2-part question, one for Coach and one for Nick. Isaiah Folks, obviously foul trouble tonight. 8 points off the bench, 4 for 4. Will you talk about how he was pushing the pace for you? And then for Nick, will you talk about what went through your mind when he threw down the tomahawk slam early in the game?
Well, I can ask that one first. Nick can't do that, so he would have been impressed by that. Yeah, Zay did get in foul trouble, and he's obviously going to be a huge part of what we're about because he's got a big, strong body, he's athletic, he can defend, and he's going to have a big responsibility to do that against really good players as we keep moving forward. Because he's obviously very athletic and quick, and so that's where we lost a little bit of pace without him there, because he can put pressure on the rim. So, look, there'll be a lot of things we'll learn from, and that's what it should be probably at this time of the year. It would be great if we were playing mid-season form hoops right now, but it's not. So, but he was productive, which was great.
I mean, Zay's always been explosive. I didn't really expect that type of power in a dunk, so that was impressive. But yeah, I mean, honestly, I probably said some things I shouldn't have said when he hit the dunk, but it was an impressive play for sure.
Nick, what were your expectations for this season coming in? You just came in really strong tonight.
Yeah, honestly, just trusting the work and just trusting every guy on the team. Like I said before, we dealt with adversity at the beginning of the year, so just coming together. I knew we'd be prepared for this. I mean, expectation, just coming in, being ready, playing hard, but nothing too crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I'll back up what he's talking about. Like, probably didn't work hard enough last year, and he'll probably second that. And he has put in a lot of work. A lot of these guys have coming in really early in the morning and getting up shots. And we talk about it all the time. Trust your work. You can't cheat the game. The game you'll get found out if you just think you can just show up and go hoop. You got to put in major work. And I would say that you've done a lot of that, all right? And you're rewarded for that. Obviously, that needs to continue. But it's good to see, an individual like Nick get reward for the work he's put in, but for the team too, because they have worked extremely hard. It's been a challenging preparation. A number of the guys that have been here definitely echoed that. So, we got some reward for that tonight.
Coach, Lakai Patterson put a lot of pressure on the rim tonight, just posting up and driving. What do you think of his offensive performance tonight?
A little up and down. He's obviously going to be a big part of what we're about because he can stretch the floor. He can obviously get that wide load down there in the post and go to work. And we'll definitely use that as much as we can. He's very experienced. He's going to have to be, as I said earlier, he's got a responsibility to perform in his role. And there's pressure there, and that's okay. That's what you want. A lot of I've said this to these guys a lot of time. They're very special. Less than 1% of high school kids play Division I basketball. So just to even get to this level is a huge accomplishment, and then the expectation goes up even more when you're in positions of responsibility. So he was solid. He's been battling a little bit of an injury bug. So to even get out there tonight, he's had to put a lot of hard work in to just get on the floor and get going. So he did some good things.
What are you looking for the team to either improve upon or continue doing heading into Liberty on Friday?
Yeah, Liberty's going to be a good one. I mean, they've obviously been a very good team the last 4 or 5 years, and even longer than that. So, extreme discipline will be required. We'll have to defend very well because they shoot a lot of threes, a lot. The preparation will be important. It'll be obviously an exciting environment to play in at the Spectrum for the guys. We played there a couple of years ago, so it'll be fun to get back there and play on that stage because they all obviously have dreams of doing that. But yeah, it's going to take a lot of discipline. The game plan is going to have to be very, very simple because a little bit of a shorter prep. But just go back and watch the video, improve on some things that we will identify, highlight some strengths that we did really well, and just continue to grow.
Any other questions?
Thank you.
Thank you.